All right, so this is a 1956 F100. I'm doing an LS swap on it, and right now I'm doing the fuel tank, and I want to show you guys what I did. I want my fuel filler to come straight up through the middle of the bed, and what I did for that is I used a 1973 to 1981 Suburban Blazer GMC tank. That's what it looks like in there. Well, to get it in there, I had to use, I think these are 2x4, 2x5s, I think these are, and I cut them in half, and then I welded them in there like that, and then I put these holes right next to where the straps would come up to be able to mount the tank. So all I have to do is put a socket in there, and I should be able to tighten and loosen them to get the tank out. You can see that there. They go up into those holes. I think this is a 2x6 in the back here. So it's a 2x6, 2x1s here, a 2x1 there, and then those half pieces. Basically just got one piece and cut it right in half. Drilled those holes. And that's how I got that in there. It's nice because I know it's funny because I have this Mustang filler cap here. That's what I'm going to use. You have to buy this reducer here. I'll put links in the description for this, but I have this taped off so nothing can get in there. But this reducer will go on here, and then this 45 you'll have to cut to get on here, and then I'll have a hole drilled into my bed, and this will go through that and then go into here, and it'll sit like that. So that'll look pretty nice. Now, for this is the original fuel sending unit for that tank. What you have to do is you have to get a retrofit kit from Quantum Fuel Systems. I'm using a 455 Walboro pump for this, and you have to take the old pump out. You can use this base, but you have to egg the base out a little bit with like a Dremel so that that filter will fit through there. I broke mine off by accident, so I had to weld it back on. You have to cut this up top here, this hose, well, the tube that comes down through, because the tube will come down like right here where my middle finger is. You have to cut it up there and then kind of barb it a little bit with something to make it a little wider so that that hose will stay on a little better when you clamp it, just to be safe. And then you have to make a connector for it as well. You also have to buy, ignore those markings there, they're wrong. It says 7AN, there's no such thing as a 7AN. I was just confused on what those fittings were, but I figured it out, and it's a TBI to, it's a TBI fitting, but you need it to get TBI to AN fittings for this to make it work. And that's what I have. I have my fuel lines ran here. I have 8AN fuel lines, so I have an 8AN to 6AN adapter to go to this TBI adapter. So that's what that's gonna look like. And that's what it's going to look like when it's in there. Yes, it faces this way. So you could get a 90 for these, but I wouldn't recommend it because I heard that those AN fittings that are like 90 like that tend to leak. I cheaped out with this. I bought this Evil Energy AN line, which I'm thinking the internal PTFE of it is a little thin. And I think that's why they leak. But I'm putting a washer in inside of here so I can get a little bit more compression. You're not supposed to do that, but I'm actually going to see what happens if I do that, to see if it can actually hold more pressure if I do that, if it gives me like a tighter seal. And if it does hold pressure, then I'm gonna use it, and I'll test it with air before I set any fuel in here. Like I have fittings for testing these. You can buy them. One end is capped like this. The other end has a what's it called? Damn it, I forget what it's called. You can put an airline to it. I'll just say that. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be testing these out before I put any fuel on this thing. And I'll definitely have it clamped down like right here, so that I don't get any movement in that fitting, because the last thing I want is for me to be leaking any fuel anywhere. And if it does leak, you know, then I'll probably end up changing these lines out. But if it doesn't leak, then oh great, this will have to get grounded too. Ground that somewhere. Yep, and if you're curious on what I did to the rest of this thing, I mean, I'll just go through slowly and you can see it. That's it. Oh, and one more thing. So I threw away the original bed to this because I'm retarded. No, I am retarded, but I'm gonna do something different. It's gonna be cheap and it'll work. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna buy just like a regular sheet of plywood, and then I'm going to coat it completely in epoxy, and then I'll on the top layer of it, I'll have a sheet of plastic over it so it's really smooth, and then I'm just gonna put a decal sticker over it. It sounds kind of ridiculous, but it should look pretty nice. I have a picture of the progress so far, so I'll put that up. There'll be like an aluminum border around it too, so it should look pretty nice when it's done. It'll match this. It'll look cool.